Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today we are setting the intellectual foundation for the rest of our course. What sustainability really means and how ecosystems, the physical and biological systems around us shape the risks and opportunities in logistics and supply chains. In previous week, we saw how supply chains and logistics form the backbone of business operations. Now, we need to ask what happens when those operations interact with nature, climate, and communities. Sustainability is not only a buzzword or an ethical choice. It is a strategic necessity for many businesses that wants to thrive in a resource-constrained and climate-challenged world. By the end of this lecture, you should be able to define sustainability clearly in business terms, understand the triple bottom line framework, and connect international sustainability agreements with local supply chains realities. And number 4, recognize how ecosystems and climate systems affect supply chains in Pakistan and globally. Let's start with a scenario. Imagine you manage urban delivery for a mega sale. Your dashboard shows on-time deliveries. Suddenly, after a heat wave, rider absenteeism jumps, failed deliveries rise, and customer complaints flood in. What looked like a weather blip is actually a deeper system signal. Urban heat, poor air quality, and rider well-being directly shape logistics performance. Now, think of a farmer in Punjab who supplies wheat for a biscuit company. A delayed monsoon or sudden flood reduces yield. What doesn't just affect farmers, it also delays flour deliveries, increases cost for the manufacturer, and reduces availability for retailers. Both examples remind us that supply chains don't operate in isolation. They are embedded in social and ecological systems, and shocks in those systems ripple into business outcomes. Let's look at the concept of sustainability. At its simplest, sustainability means using what we need today without taking away from tomorrow. We evaluate it through 3 lenses: economic lens, ecological, and social. Economic lens asks, can our business keep running affordably, reliably, and competitively? Ecological lens ensures, can natural systems, soil, water, air, and climate keep running without collapse? Social lens C, are people treated fairly with safe work, decent pay, and thriving communities? When we integrate all 3, we reach at the triple bottom line: profit, planet, and people. Let's look into triple bottom line in context of logistics and supply chain. Profit is about cost efficiency, service reliability, and competitiveness. Planet includes cutting emissions, reducing waste, conserving resources. And for people, we must ensure worker safety, ethical sourcing, and community well-being. But here's the key insight from Sustainability by your scholar David Grant. Don't run 3 separate dashboards. Instead, design one integrated system where decision advances profit, planet, and people simultaneously. For example, a logistics company invests in electric delivery bikes. Profit improves by lowering fuel costs. Planet gets benefit by reduced emissions. People win due to less air pollution in neighborhoods. A retailer reduces excess packaging. Profit improves by lowering material costs. Planet and people get benefits by less plastic waste and easier disposal, and customer goodwill as well. Let's see some global sustainability milestones. Sustainability has also been shaped by international agreements that guide governments, businesses, and financiaries. 1992 UN Earth Summit, Rio, was first global framework on sustainable development. 1997 Kyoto Protocol states binding emission reduction targets for developed nations. Why does this matter for Pakistan? Because export markets follow these rules. A khadi textile supplier may need to prove wastewater treatment meets EU standards. A daraz seller may be required to use recyclable, right-size packaging. And a Pakistani auto parts manufacturer must disclose its carbon footprint to attract foreign buyers. These global rules eventually shape local practices, ecosystems, climate, and natural capital. Think of the economy as sitting inside nature, not outside it. Forests, rivers, soils, and ocean provide natural capital, resources, and services without which no supply chain can function. Plants absorb carbon dioxide, soils and oceans store it, and animals recycle nutrients. When deforestation, poor farming, or pollution disrupt these systems, the entire balance breaks. Let's talk about the greenhouse effect, normal versus excess. Naturally, the greenhouse effect keeps Earth warm enough for life. Human activities, burning fossil fuels, deforestation, industrial farming add excess greenhouse gases that trap too much heat. Result: rising temperatures, more extreme weathers, floods, and droughts. For supply chain managers, this is not environmental news, it is a business risk. Flooded highways delay deliveries. Drought reduces cotton supply for Pakistan's textile exports. Heat waves reduce worker productivity in warehouses and farms. Let's talk about sustainability in supply chains. Now, businesses can take concrete steps like transport efficiency, which is shift from road to rail or sea where possible, improve vehicle fill rates, optimize routes, packaging optimization, right size carton, switch to recyclable or biodegradable materials, energy efficiency, use solar powered depots, energy efficient warehouses, and electric delivery vehicles. Pakistani brands and the ecosystem lens. Let's ground this in Pakistan. Engro and Shan Foods depend on reliable farm outputs. Healthy soils, pollinators, and irrigation systems are crucial. If soil depletes or water runs out, their supply chain collapse. Smart procurement means rewarding farmers who adopt sustainable practices. Use drip irrigation to save water. Apply integrated pest management instead of heavy chemicals. Preserve soil fertility through crop rotation and organic practices. For example, Shan Foods pays chili farmers bonuses if they adopt soil health practices and drip irrigation. At the factory, Shan recycles water and reuses heat from boilers, cutting costs, protecting supply, and meeting compliance. Let's take another example of Packages Limited. It reduces paper waste by recycling production scrap. Nestle Pakistan works with farmers to promote water-efficient dairy practices. Baikia explores cleaner, efficient transport for urban mobility. So, dear students, sustainability is not an optional add-on, it is the management discipline. The triple bottom line shows us that economic, ecological, and social systems are inseparable. Climate dynamics and ecosystem functions directly affect logistics, from farm yields and raw material prices to port operations and last mile deliveries. So, the companies that aligned with sustainability reduce risk, cut cost, and stay competitive in global markets. As future managers and leaders, remember the choices you design in supply chain, whether packaging, transport, or procurement, either build resilience or add fragility. That's all for today. Let's continue the conversation in our discussion forum. Thank you.